This video is going to cover order of operations with fractions. So our order of operations are still the same. We're still going to look at our grouping symbols. So braces, parentheses. Then we have exponents, so x to the second power. Multiplication and division are equally important. I'm just going to make sure I go left to right. And then I have addition and subtraction. They are equally important. I'm going to go left to right. So let's go ahead and get started. Remember, use your calculator, either your online scientific one or your handheld scientific calculator. Pause the video if you need to go grab that, and let's practice this together. All right, example number 1. 3/4 minus 1/2 times 7/8. So remember that I am going to do any grouping symbols first, and I have no grouping symbols. And then I'm going to move on to exponents. I have no exponents, but I do have some multiplication or division. I have multiplication. So I'm going to focus on this portion first. I'm going to rewrite what's still there, 3/4 minus, and I'm going to multiply these. 1/2 times 7/8. So in my calculator, fraction 1/2 times 7/8. And I'm going to turn that into a fraction, 7/16. So I have 3/4 minus 7/16. And then I can actually do that subtraction. So 3/4 minus 7/16. 3/4 minus 7/16. For a grand total of 5/16. And I'm done. Okay, the operations are the same, the order is the same. I just have to deal with the fractions. And remember, please use your calculator as a source of, as your resource. All right, example 2. Same type of operations are going on. I've got subtraction again, I've got multiplication, no grouping symbols, no exponents. So I'm going to go straight to multiplication. Do not subtract first. Make sure you multiply first. So I'm going to do my multiplication, 3.1 times 1.4. 3.1 times 1.4. And I get a grand total of 4.34. 27.16 minus 4.34. 27.16 minus 3.34 gives me a grand total of 23.82. 23.82. Make sure I got that right. Yep. All right, example number 3. Now on this problem, I do have exponents. I don't have any grouping symbols, so I'm going to jump past that, but I am going to do the exponents first. So 1.4 to the power of 2, that's going to require some calculator. 1.4, remember your exponent button is a to the b power to the power of 2, 1.96. 1.96. I'm going to keep bringing everything else down. 8 times, I'm going to make sure I do the multiplication first, 0.6 times 1.96. 0.6 times 1.96. And I get 1.176. 1.176. 76. 8.591 minus 1.176, and I'm going to stop toggling back and forth, but when you type it in your calculator, you should get 7.416, and that is my final answer. All right. The next one is an on your own. This is your turn. Practice using your calculator this order of operations. You pause the video. Remember, you've got this over here on the side to help you. All right, when I simplify my answer, I should get a total of 1/9. Remember to do the exponents first. I'm going to have 7/9 times by 1/2 squared is 1/4, or you might have gotten 0.25, and that's fine too. And then what operation am I going to do next? I am going to do multiplication. When I multiply 7/9 by 1/4, I get 7/36. And then I'm going to subtract. 7/36 minus 1/12 is a grand total of 1/9. And remember, I did this by hand, but remember, you can use your calculator. Use that to your advantage. So my final answer is 1/9. All right, example number 4. We are going to start at the top with grouping symbols, and I do have some grouping symbols. 26 minus 23.8. If I type that in my calculator, I'm going to get 2.2. And I'm going to continue on my way. There are no more grouping symbols, so I'm going to move on to exponents. Do I have any of those? I sure do. 2.2 to the power of 2. 4.84. Now don't fall into the trap of doing this addition first. Make sure we continue down our ladder and do multiplying and dividing first. I do have some division, so I'm going to do that first. 74.4 divided by 0.3, and I am going to get 0.4 divided by 0.3 gives me 248. So 4.84 plus 248. And when I do get my calculator and add those together, I get 252.84. And that is my final answer. Okay, this last one is on your own. Take a second and see if you can figure this one out. Pause the video and press play when you're ready to check your answer. All right. The answer for this problem is 3.68. Remember, we are going to do any grouping symbols first. I don't have any. Any exponents next. 2.1 to the second power is 4.41. Then any multiplication, and because I'm done with exponents, any multiplication and division. I do have division and I do have multiplication. Make sure you go left to right. Division first. 6.25 divided by 0.5 gives me 12.5. Minus 2 times 4.141. Do the multiplication next. 2 times 4.41, 8.82 is what that simplifies to be. 12.5 minus 8.82 gives me a grand total, if I type that in my calculator, 3.68. Go ahead and log on to ALEKS and work on your order of operations, fractions, and decimals homework assignment. Be sure to submit a screenshot of your final percentage and your work.